Hello, my name is Krona Arrogid, registered social worker and mental health lead at the Thamesview Family Health Team. I'm here today with Barb Lather, our program manager at the Thamesview Family Health Team. And Barb, you contacted me in regards to wanting to have this interview and speak about your journey through cancer. Can you tell me why it was important for you to share your story of cancer?
I think my intention today is to educate people and create awareness from a patient's perspective in regards to chronic disease and cancer.
Okay, thank you. Can you explain a little bit about your story and your journey through cancer?
So most people know me as Barb Lather, program manager from the Thamesview Family Health Team. But today I'm telling my story as Barb Lather, person, patient, friend, mother, sister, grandmother. And I feel like everyone has a role, position, or title, and we do not always know the personal difficulties someone is going through. In 2011, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer with a reoccurrence in 2016. I've been through 2 sets of chemo and have remained on another IV medication for the past year. I feel we need to respect each other and acknowledge that there could be more to people than we actually know. I have not put my journey on Facebook and have only let a few close personal friends in. I am doing this today to help people understand.
I think it's really courageous of you. Thank you for doing that. Barb, can you share what are some of the challenges that you've experienced along the way?
So I've hit a few challenges along the way. One of them would be that I had an allergic reaction to the chemo. And I've also, we've been hit with drug expenses where some of the drugs have not been covered. And this has cost us anywhere up to $2,800 every 21 days during the treatments. My biggest challenge, I think, however, has been different comments from people in the public or avoidance, and I think avoidance has been the greatest one. Some people, I think, don't know what to say to you when you're going through cancer or any type of severe illness, and sometimes they don't say the right things. And I think you want to remember, if you don't know what to say, sometimes it's better not to say anything at all. Or to remember that I'm still Barb. So when you see me, I should still be, "Hi Barb, how are you today? What's going on? How are the kids?" If I want to expand any more on how I'm doing, I would do so. But I think always remembering to treat me like I'm still the same person. I think part of the thing as well has been not feeling sorry for myself. I think that I've gotten up every morning, pulled up my big girl socks, and went to work through all my treatments.
And that's not that usual, is it?
No, I was able to do that, and unfortunately I didn't have a lot of the neuropathy that a lot of the cancer patients had, and I was able to keep my nausea down, but it saved me from making my work environment normal for me. I wanted life to be as normal as possible. I have a very supportive work environment, and I love coming to work every day. And work became the place where we didn't talk about my disease, so it made things normal. One thing that I did notice is that my senses were heightened during treatment, and to tone and words. So certain tones that would be said, and an example would be, "How you doing?" Like those tones that would make the difference on an up day or a bad day, because typically no one would say, "How you doing?" They would just say, "How's it going, Barb?" And knowing that that type of language is what you need to share with people when they're ill. Mm-hmm. I know that when I lost my hair twice, I was very, it became hard for me to go into public groups. And if I had my scarf on, I'd get ready to go in, and sometimes my breath would catch. And I just thought, "Oh, I'm not sure I can do this." And a good friend of mine who actually went through treatment as well said to me, "You're not that important." And it's odd, but it helped. I was able to just go through the door and think, I'm not that important. Not everyone's staring at me. Not anyone cares that I have this crazy scarf on my head. But it was something that somebody had to let me know that, because every time we would go out publicly into a group, it was getting harder and harder to do.
Mm-hmm. So realizing that sometimes people get very preoccupied with their own issues, and made you feel a little less like you stood out for wearing, as you put it, a crazy headscarf.
Yes.
Have there been any good things that have occurred as a result of the challenges that you've had to face?
I would say that I love harder. I say it more often. I don't worry about things. I sleep really well. I found that worry changes nothing, so you're better not to worry. And physical activity helps with this, because if you're physical, you actually are tired by the time you go to bed at night, so your mind doesn't stay as busy. And I think you have to be realistic that you do worry when you have tests that are being done, and you do worry about the future, but it's normal and healthy to have those kind of worries. And I think you find a way not to obsess with it. So how do you put together something to help you so that's not all you focus on? I'm not afraid to try different things, and I'm not afraid of failure. I've also let go of negativity. I do not surround myself with negative people or negative thoughts.
Okay, so those are some really nice tools that you've mentioned to sort of cope with the challenges that you faced with cancer, such as being busy, having a purpose and a focus, and like you said, the physical activity, being open-minded and trying different things, avoiding negative thoughts and negative people, and it sounds like really surrounding yourself with a positive environment.
Yes.
Can you tell me what it is like living with a chronic disease?
I don't think that people see cancer as a chronic disease, and if so, it's just changing in the last little while. People are living longer and longer with cancer, and it's either active or it's inactive. And we face a lot of the challenges that other people with chronic disease face. So people with congestive heart failure, diabetes, cystic fibrosis, MS, depression, it goes on and on and on. We share a lot of the same common challenges. It could be fatigue, it could be neuralgia, I'm just trying to think of a few other ones, pain, uncertainty. And we've narrowed down diseases so distinctly into their own classes that we don't see chronic disease being all of these diseases together. And a lot of them can be put together into groups and different things because we all share common side effects and common everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that creates a sense of division and isolation in people. How has having a chronic disease affected your perspective on life?
I look forward to tomorrow and what there is to learn. I look forward to teaching and sharing, whether it be at home or at work. I look forward to spending time with friends and family, and my gardens and my hobbies. People that know me know that I don't sit very well. I don't like to sit. It's not who I am. I have to be busy. And I've learned to face challenges head on, as well as how I can alter challenges or adapt them to suit me better. They might still be a challenge, but I can work with them to make it easier to get through daily tasks. I'd been running 5 kilometers 3 times a week before my re-diagnosis, and a lot of people said, why bother? Why would you even bother? Because the cancer came back. And for me, it was, it's quite the opposite. You have to take control of your health. You have to take control of your life. And you have to prepare your body to do battle. So if something were to happen again, your body's ready. Every time you don't look after yourself, you are headed for another chronic disease, and it complicates things when they go to look after what you're already going through. And I it's difficult. It's not easy, but I feel that you have to take control of your own life. You have to be the master of your health, your diet, and what happens to you, and just to make less complications and make it easier for you to get through every day.
Okay, great. So it sounds like you're saying you certainly have a deeper appreciation for the time that you've spent with your family and your friends, and it sounds also like you've really continued to keep yourself busy and engage in your life, like doing the runs, and you know, certainly it doesn't sound like you allowed the cancer to slow you down in how you were living your life. And also it sounds like you're really focused on what you can control, what's within your control of keeping yourself healthy, and being very conscious and mindful of that, and taking a lot of steps to remain healthy in what you're eating and what you're doing and what you allow to be in your environment. How has this impacted your family and your friends?
This is probably the hardest for me, because my family and friends have lived through all the hardships and the successes with me side by side. When I was at my lowest, so were they, and when I was at my highest, so were they. I feel like I tried to protect them from some of the information that was given to me, and that actually only made it harder for me to communicate, and they knew me too well. They knew something was going on, and it's best to be upfront and walk through the journey together, because they understand what you're going through, and they're able to help you along the way.
So you found being upfront was better, and that was better communication with you and your family, and more supportive, yeah. How has this impacted you being part of a family health team?
So I'm also a part of a family health team, this family health team, and I'm very proud of our physicians, our employees, and the programs and services we offer. I feel that the patient should and must come first. I've learned how to relax my body when I begin to feel frightened, so much so that I'm able to stay drug-free, so I don't need to take anything to get me to relax. That's me. Other people may need that, and that's fine. I'm talking about me in general. As a patient of the family health team, I've had access to physicians, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, dietitians, and social work. My family's had access to these services as well. I could use all or none of these services as I chose. I've also become more of a patient advocate, if that's possible, to make sure patients have access to services that they need and are relevant to their care. I truly believe that family health teams have been developed to treat the whole patient. As patients of family health teams, you need to embrace programs and services and groups that we have to offer. We learn and heal from one another. Our doors are open to the public for many of our groups, and we need not to feel isolated, but to know there are many of us struggling through many of the same problems.
Absolutely. There are many people struggling, as you pointed out, in many different chronic diseases with similar symptoms, and we definitely have a lot of supportive services here. If you could go back in time and change anything or even one thing from your experience, what would it be?
One of the main things I would say that I learned from my first treatment is do not use Dr. Google. I know that there's websites out there that are certified and the doctors recommend them, which is fine. I found myself frantically searching through the internet trying to find out as much as I could find. Only it just spiraled out of control to the point that I couldn't sleep, I couldn't think, I couldn't focus, and it was a bad decision. I wish I would have never done that. And to know that everyone's different, don't compare yourself to anyone else. You'll hear of a diagnosis and think, oh gosh, that's going to be me and this is what's going to happen. And you know, a lot of times they do have the right information there, but you need to stay focused on you and what's positive for you right now. And I feel it's important to keep your physicians well aware of any changes you've made with your health choices, including holistic medicine.
Okay, thank you. So essentially you're also saying that Google caused you more anxiety than help.
Absolutely.
when you were having a lot of questions. Okay. What is something you learned about yourself as you went through the experience that surprised you or that you didn't know about yourself before?
I've learned that I'm tough, and I've learned that I have no regrets.
It's a great way to live life. No regrets. When you think of these experiences, of the challenges and the heartaches, what words come to mind?
Misunderstood, avoided, respect and confidentiality, kindness, love, support, and strength are some of the words, I think.
Terrific. So the Barb that you are today, knowing what you know today, what would you want to say to Barb of 5 years ago when you were first diagnosed with cancer?
I would say life is not made up of material things. Now don't get me wrong, I love to shop. Life is made up of memories, saying I love you, and knowing how to say I'm sorry. Don't hold on to things and people that you can't fix. Let them go. It frees your spirit. And don't worry about what others think of you. Worry about what you think of yourself.
Thank you, Barb. Those are some wonderful tools and some really insightful words based on your own personal journey with cancer, and I really appreciate you coming forward to share this information. I think it takes a lot of courage to do that, and that's an amazing thing for you to do, so thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
I want to mention that we do have a chronic disease group. Please call to register if you would like to attend. This group is open to the community, and you're welcome to bring a family member or a friend to the group for support. You can contact us at 519-354-0070 extension 625. In order to register for that, we need a name and a phone number, so we have the appropriate materials here for you when you come to the group. We also offer a Care for the Caregiver support group, and for the patients of the Thamesview Family Health Team, we offer a single session which is available on a walk-in basis on Wednesdays. If you'd like more information about that, you can see that elsewhere on our website, and also again you can call the number I mentioned for any additional questions you have in that regard. We will also include a list of some resources regarding cancer support and a summary of the tools that Barb shared with us here that was helpful to her on the website. Thank you very much.